Hello, my name is James and welcome to Mirror Domains. And this is a movie review for Contagion. And yes, I know that everybody's out there practicing social distancing. And I noticed that Contagion is playing on Netflix. In fact, it's number one in Canada right now. The year is 2020, and this movie came out in 2011. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So, Contagion! Contagion came out in 2011 and is directed by Steven Soderbergh and stars a whole bunch of people like Gwyneth Paltrow, Matt Damon, Laurence Fishburne, Kate Winslet, and Marion, Cotillard. And you'll recognize a lot of these people when you see them. And what I'm going to do here is that I actually reviewed this movie when it came out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a throwback review with this, something a little bit different. We're going to watch my original review and then I'll augment it with my updated version because I recently rewatched it, actually before all of this stuff happened, because I just wanted to revisit it. And I actually found it a much more solid film than I remembered it, but it's also one of those films that kind of makes you go, it gets you frustrated, right? And we're living in a time where you feel frustrated by things. And this does sort of help open your eyes to how the world deals with this kinds of thing, and with these kinds of things. And it's a curiosity. Right now, if you have Netflix, I would say check it out. It's worth the look. But we're going to throw back now to 2011 when I was just a small timer getting started on this YouTube. So let's just take a look at my original review. Contagion! Yeah, the intro. The original drum beat I used. Contagion, starring Matt Damon and Laurence Fishburne. It's actually got a lot of famous people in it. Kate Winslet.
You like the hair?
It's an ensemble piece. Gwyneth Paltrow. And it is a story about a virus that grows all over the world.
Definitely a lot younger.
It really deals with how government agencies would try to contain this and quarantine people.
Yeah.
The movie is directed by Steven Soderbergh. He's done movies like Traffic and a few ocean movies.
Yep.
Where this movie really falls flat, though, is the storytelling. It's like you'll be following a certain character's storyline for a bit, and then it just cuts off, and you never come back to it for a long time. What I really wanted to see was a little bit more of an emotional payoff. Things like if somebody tells you that your wife just died, you think you would have a little bit more of an emotional reaction to that.
I see that.
You don't get to see
sort
things
of
like that. When you think you're about to see
sort of.
It cuts to a different storyline. I really like the Laurence Fishburne character in the movie. I thought
he's good.
He's really good. A little bit more of the political side of things, the military side of things. But there were a few storylines that I felt, didn't really add a whole lot to the movie, like Marion Cotillard's character. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
She gets kidnapped, and things happen where you don't know. There's no background to it.
Yeah,
it really is all over the place.
Must not have been
you don't
paying
know
attention.
What's going to happen next? And there was a few times where I was like, "Okay, where are you going with this? What are you doing?" And
yeah, that's a real good analysis there.
The cinematography was really nothing memorable. It was competent. It didn't really add anything to the film. The score, I can't even remember much of it.
It was serviceable.
No, it wasn't memorable.
This was before I
That's like
started to say things were serviceable.
Sort of qualifying? No, not really. 2, I would say see this one when it comes out on TV. Don't even try to stream it unless you're really bored. Yeah. It really doesn't have a lot of memorable things that happen to it. It's kind of like the virus is coming, it's killing people, and then one day it's like, oh, we're back to normal again. It's safe, it's fine. I was really waiting for something to happen in the end, like a hook, like maybe the vaccine really wasn't a vaccine,
Well, it was sort of like that, man.
It never happened like that, so. It did happen like that.
All right, if you like what you've seen, please hit that little thumbs up button or subscribe. Have a good day.
Man, that's rough. That was rough around the edges. 2011. But hey, you know what? All of us YouTubers have to start out somewhere. And if you really want to watch that again in its full version, just with itself, I'll leave links to that up in the cards above. But let me just say here for what I initially saw there, and my first response is that I didn't like it. And it is kind of off-putting. It does have that note where it leaves you kind of like angry and frustrated with the way that some people behave in a scenario like this, like what we're going through right now. So it does leave you with that. And if you're not in it, then you don't really understand it. And now that we're dealing with this kind of a thing worldwide now, I tell you, you'll get some value out of this film for sure, because you'll see how the WHO, the World Health Organization, deals with this, how they send investigators to find out where did it start, is there a way we can contain it, can we develop vaccines? All of that stuff is my pitch to you to say, hey, you know what? You should check this out, because you can see some interesting things on how as a species we're fighting this. Now, as I saw in my original review there, I wasn't too taken with some of the storylines, because it is an ensemble piece. You're following different storylines that just kind of go somewhere and then they just kind of deflate a little bit, and you kind of like get invested with one character and then something happens and you don't see them for a long time. It really sort of deals with capitalism in a little bit, in a way with Jude Law's character, with trying to stoke fear and use fear mongering to promote his own kind of businesses, and that's the part that really frustrated me, and that's the downer part about this movie. Is if you get caught up into that and you look at the more evil side of us as a species, then you won't like this film. But it does say a lot of things, and I think right now it's pertinent, it's relevant, and if you want to see a movie about this kind of a thing, it's not too scary in the sense that you could just see a whole bunch of people dying, but it shows what this virus in this movie does. And it's I would say check it out on Netflix right now, because that's where it's playing, that's where you can see it. It's number 1 in Canada right now as of March 22nd, 2020. And that was fascinating. That was interesting. If you like what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button. YouTube is recommending a video for you to watch right there, and you can see my latest one just right up here. My name is James, and you're watching Beer Domains. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Oh, I forgot. I would give it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10.